Today on City Wrestling Radio, all eyes are on AEW champion MJF as we go over AEW Dynamite and NXT from this week. WWE sets its eyes on some more international dates, and Impact Wrestling, they're looking for a little TNA as they go back to the good old days. All this and so much more today on City Wrestling Radio.
Give me a hell yeah!
Welcome back to another episode of City Wrestling Radio, October 27th, 2023. I'm your host, Corey Smith, being joined, as always, by my co-host. He's the dad you wish you had, especially on Halloween, because I feel like he's going to let you watch some gory stuff. Well, I don't know, because I feel like you're going to have them watch gory stuff, and then, you know, they're going to be traumatized for life.
Yes,
but
kids, you get the pass.
But you get candy in the end.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, your name is Mr. Jose Oseguera. How are you today, sir?
Doing very well. Happy Halloween, everyone. Happy Halloween to you. Very eventful week in pro wrestling. Can't wait to get into it.
I know this is kind of like our Halloween episode.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we did have our Anarchy rules. I kind of added a little. I added some Halloween. There's some bats in the graphics, so that's
It's
Halloween.
Blood and gore.
Yeah. There's some red on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, whatever. But nonetheless, happy Halloween to you. Happy Halloween to you there at home. Let's get into it because, like you said, there is a lot of stuff that happened this week. A lot of stuff that happened last week. We haven't been on air back on YouTube in a few weeks. I went to Disneyland. I'm sorry I did. And then it all went to heck from there. Like it's just like you go to Disneyland for 3 days. 3 days and your whole month is ruined.
Oh yeah,
like
for sure.
all of a sudden you have to work extra hours and
financially you're in the hole.
Luckily I did lose weight in Disneyland despite my horrible diet.
Was it super hot?
It was super hot, and I think I got 30,000 steps a day.
Yeah, that's insane.
So the combination of dehydration plus the sugar to keep me going, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Coffee, plenty of coffee.
But yes. It's funny because I was in line at Starbucks there, and it's funny the difference, the different opinions on coffee at Disneyland between parents and kids. Because I just saw so many parents I need my coffee, and the kids is this really what we're doing first thing?
Yes, kids.
Yes, it is.
It's either this or have a grumpy dad all day.
Although when I was a kid, I had free roam in Disneyland. I don't know why. Mm-hmm. Maybe my parents were just kind of hoping I would run away or something. I don't know.
Well, things were different back then. Have at it, kid. Go for it.
Like there were days we stayed across the street, and I remember just being okay, we had the passes, 3-day passes, you can go in and out. And I remember going and just popping in there by myself, and it was nothing. I was 13 years old. I mean, I don't know. Like you said, different time, early 2000s.
Yeah.
Anyways, speaking of the early 2000s, though, TNA, they're back apparently in a bold, very, very bold, bold barbecue, JR's barbecue sauce. Impact Wrestling is embracing its roots, going back to its TNA moniker. Following their Bound for Glory event on Saturday night, Impact Wrestling dropped the bombshell form of a video announcement declaring their decision to rebrand as TNA Wrestling. The rebrand will officially kick in at the much anticipated Hard to Kill 2024 event that sets for Palms Casino Resort in Vegas on Saturday, January 13th. Do you know what I know about the Palms Hotel? Do you remember the Palms Hotel?
Real world Las Vegas.
Real world Las Vegas, baby. Hey, it's been it's one of those things that I will just always remember,
Yeah, totally.
Mm-hmm. The Palms Hotel in Las Vegas. I always wanted to.
They did that twice, right?
The wrestling there?
Oh, no, the real world. They did that twice.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, they did the Back to Vegas one, I think.
Okay.
That was later on. I stopped watching at that point. I think once I got to 10 or 11.
I have to admit that I still watch the challenge. Sorry, guys.
That's based off the real world, right? Like that's okay.
Yeah,
Real world road rule,
there's still people from Real World Road Rules. That's a tongue twister. There's
like
still
the
people
like
from the cast. Yeah,
like the older episodes,
yeah.
or
Johnny
like the
Bananas is still there.
uh what
Uh,
happened to Puck? We bring back Puck.
oh, where is Puck?
What
Man, I
what about
need
what
to do
about
some digging.
Ruby? Ruby from Hawaii.
Yeah,
And was it God, who was the guy? Steven from Seattle.
I
The
don't
one
remember.
who
Yeah.
slapped the girl, remember?
Oh, the girl that had Lyme disease.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh
did
my
she have
god.
Lyme disease?
Yeah, she did.
And then
That's
he
what she was
slapped
trying
her. I didn't know that as a kid.
to.
Wow. What an asshole. Don't bring him back. But anyways, they're not coming back to the Palms Casino Hotel. It's
TNA
gonna
is coming
be
back.
TNA Wrestling. On the and Also to speak on this, on the most recent installment of Jeff Jarrett's My World podcast, Jarrett expressed his astonishment at Anthem Wrestling's decision to rebrand as TNA Wrestling after holding ownership of the promotion for a span of 6 years. During the podcast, Jarrett disclosed that he engaged in discussions with the brand regarding the possibility of reverting to TNA Wrestling at the time of Anthem's initial acquisition of Impact Wrestling. His rationale was rooted in the belief that Impact Wrestling, the moniker, was an ill-fated and kind of outdated, going back to 2011.
Well, no one wants to chant Impact, Impact, Impact. That's
Well,
weird.
in Jarrett's words, he goes, I'm surprised in a few different ways that the conversations that I had with Anthem, I'll just leave it at that, all the way at the highest levels, quote unquote. I was pretty clear with them. Hey guys, in my opinion, Impact Wrestling, naming that the company, was almost dead on arrival in 2011. I said, I just think Impact Wrestling is dead. I had those conversations in depth. So this is all Jeff Jarrett's idea, going back millions or tens of years.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think we all thought the same way.
Yeah, the second I heard it, I was like, "Oh, this is Jeff Jarrett's idea for sure. Gotta be." Even though he's not with the company.
You know, I was talking to a buddy about this the other day, and I was like, "Oh, before this whole TNA rebrand, rebrand,
Yeah.
before all that, I was like, hey, did you watch TNA last night?" He goes snobbily, "You mean Impact?" I was like, "No, I meant TNA."
Well, it's still Impact for now. It's not
Yeah,
still
yeah.
January,
Well,
so
this was, a couple months ago. Then I came to the same guy, and I was like, "Hey," when the rebrand came out, the news, and I was like, "Hey, did you watch Impact?" He goes, "You mean TNA?" Oh, you mother!
you bastard.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but does TNA have any nostalgia for you? Because, like, honestly, like the only thing I know, because I never watched it, like it came out at a time where I just did not like it. I thought it was like boring. My dad watched it. My dad watched it for some reason. I didn't. But what about you? Did
Yeah,
you like it?
it was post WCW alternative.
Yeah.
We all fiend for something new, something different. I do have a nostalgia for it. The 6-sided ring was something different. Sting coming back, I'm a huge Sting mark, so I love that. AJ Styles, I wouldn't say prime AJ Styles, but on his way. AJ Styles was really great to watch. Samoa Joe. What else can we say? That's where all the WCW veterans went to play, where the big boys went to play after they didn't have a playground. Uh, so yeah, it does hold a special place in my heart. I will say that I was never a fan of the TNA. Okay, we get it, Russo, tits and ass, right?
No.
No,
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 come
no,
on.
total nonstop action.
What? That's what it means?
Yeah, so it had its pitfalls. Dixie Carter, let's name that one again.
Well, I mean, she did kind of essentially save the company from
She
those
did what she could. Yeah, you're right.
those eye pay-per-views that they were, or like not eye pay, but like weekly pay-per-views that they expected people to pay money for in the
So that
early
was
days.
insane. Yeah, what the hell? But I mean, if you go back to like it kind of pioneering if you think about streaming services, right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that definitely goes back for sure.
Yeah. So cool, it's coming back. All right. I'm not gonna watch it anymore than I do now.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to get me to watch it more. I mean, if they have some sort of push, as a company, maybe they're going to do more traveling shows. Maybe they're going to tour the West Coast.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, sure, I would go check out a show. You know what I mean? I
Uh-huh.
think one time they were kind of doing a show over here, but I missed it, unfortunately.
Yeah, so did I. I
It was years ago.
Yeah.
I'd say about 5 years ago. 6 years ago.
Yeah.
But I mean, if it's something like that, sure, whatever, I'll check it out. But at the same time, I don't have time to, just tune on TNA right now.
Yeah, usually Thursdays is a dry day for TV anyway, so I'm usually catching up on stuff. And if I just so happen to be, without anything to watch, I'll pop it on, see what's going on, find out who the champions are, learn a couple new names.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So good on them. It's gonna wait to see what happens with that. Hey, like you did mention Sting, and it would be nice. Like he says, his last match, his retirement match, is gonna happen at AEW Revolution next year. That was what, late February-ish for us
Yeah.
this year.
Mhm.
So I'd say that, hey, this rebrand is happening in January. There's a good chance we can have Sting's final match, not his final match, but his final TNA match. We could actually see Sting go back to TNA for one last match there.
Maybe in January, late January. I'm down for that. I mean,
No, definitely.
there's sharing a lot of talent. Forbidden Door has been opened between AEW and TNA. So I mean, Impact TNA. You know what I'm talking about. The Forbidden Door has been cracked, and people have been slipping through here and there. So yeah, I'm all for it.
It's like when UFOs, they were like, they're no longer unidentified flying objects. Now they're like unidentified phenomenal aerial, and they
Acrobats, yeah.
yeah. And every person, like any journalist, any space journalist I spoke to, they were like, just say UFO.
Yeah.
They were like, it's fine, nobody cares.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it is here. It's going to be TNA Impact TNA, and watch in about 5 years from now. Oh man, I miss when it was Impact Wrestling. It was like super cool. Like they had like that blue lettering.
Yeah.
But apparently some titles have already been made. They have new TNA titles ready to come out in January. So
yeah, well, that's better than having long ass Impact title, on the face of the belt. That's weird.
Yeah, those titles are weird. They're kind of cool. I kind of dig them. I'm not hating on them. They got that digital look to them, but also kind of classic at the same time. So
yeah, okay.
But speaking of titles,
Uh-oh.
one person getting a title shot at WWE Crown Jewel is one Mr. Los Angeles Knight. And I mean, I don't know. WWE officially confirmed this that Roman will be defending his undisputed WWE Universal Championship against LA Knight at Crown Jewel on November 4th. The hype surrounding the battle began when Knight teamed up with the legendary, the greatest of all time, Mr. There Every Day, except for the house shows in between when they come to San Francisco, Mr. John Cena, when they battled the Semi Usos.
Damn.
Because it was Solo and but no, LA Knight is on this rise right now. And it's weird to see him progress so fast in wrestling, and I'm starting to get the vibes of Sami Zayn again, this kind of like this super quick rise to fame, and then what happened is Roman beat him down. But Jose, in wrestling, the term strike when the iron is hot is used a lot. Like, should they pull the trigger on LA Knight this time? I mean, you haven't been a big fan. I mean, I'm kind of starting to see like what people see in him. Like, he's catchy. Like, he's that catchy song that you don't like at first, but it grows on you, and you're like, LA Knight,
Yeah.
But what do you think? Do you think he should win the title?
No.
Okay. What if it wasn't Roman? What if it wasn't Roman? What if he was going against Seth?
Yes.
I just realized something. Have a cool background going.
Oh, nice.
What if it was Seth?
Yeah. Yes. Lesser title, US Gunther. Yes.
No, I mean a straight up world title. Just take Roman out of the equation.
What you're doing is you're making a footnote in history. It's a trivia question. Who was the first person to defeat Seth Rollins? Oh, well, it was LA Knight. He's going to be a trivia question. You got to come off. I was listening to Busted Open the other day, and Bully Ray had a very good point. Larger than life. Is LA Knight larger than life? Roman Reigns is.
Yes.
I think Cody Rhodes is.
Yes.
Is Seth Rollins? Probably not, but he's up there. He's
He acts like it.
Yeah, and he's main event material. You can just he
Yes.
oozes main event, right?
Yes.
LA
Yes.
Knight, for me, personal opinion, not so much.
Yeah. Yeah. No, he definitely seems beatable. He does.
Yeah,
Like when you look at Roman, he looks unbeatable. You look at Cody, pretty unbeatable. Seth, you could probably get a win out of him if you do the exact right techniques.
yeah,
But when you look at LA Knight, I don't see world champion. I don't see the guy to beat him for the title. And that's why I think they're doing it at Crown Jewel.
because Crown Jewel is a non-canon
Well,
PLE.
not because it's like a non-canon PLA, but because I think they're trying to make it canon in the sense that if this was in, let's say, anywhere in North America, do you know how many like fans would boo this if he
Yeah.
loses?
Oh,
If
they would
he
go insane.
loses to losing to Roman Reigns over there, people might boo and be like, "Oh, there's boo. We liked him," but they're not going to go crazy.
Very good
I
point. Yeah.
I see if LA Knight lost for the world or universal title here in the States, oh, they would riot.
Oh,
Like not
damn near. Yeah.
and I mean, I don't know.
So, hey, good choice in the location for this fight. Yeah, good choice.
So I don't know. To me, we're looking at this. It's like, okay, we know LA Knight's not going to win, but what's going to happen to him after this?
I mean, set up something with John Cena, go after the tag team titles, a la
Well, I
KO,
mean,
Sami Zayn.
if the right or the actors strike ends soon, then we're not going to see that. We're not going to see John Cena here in WWE for a very long time, because he's kind of made it clear that he's only here until that is no more, because he said something like, "Oh, people depend on me for movies and yada yada." I mean, I don't know how many movies he has set up.
Do they?
I mean, I'm sure his family, I'm sure people in his
Sure. I mean,
family
he's gonna
depend
do
on
some
him.
more of those cow commercials. Remember, he was riding like some bull or something.
Oh, it was like for some was it Experian app or whatever?
Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah. He does a lot of I've noticed him do voiceover stuff for like commercials and radio, because I work in radio and I've heard multiple times, I'm like, that's John Cena's voice.
Which John Cena?
Yeah. I can't see him. I can't see him,
No, literally.
It's radio. I legitimately cannot see him. But like I said, WWE, if they're gonna do this, it's a good thing they picked Jeddah, Saudi Arabia at Crown. Was it Jeddah, right? I believe, right?
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Yes.
Raj.
I didn't write down where it's at, but it's on November 4th.
Okay.
Probably 9 a.m. our time in the Pacific. What does that mean? 1 o'clock Eastern. That's kind of a cool
10,
time.
10 a.m.
10 a.m.
Yeah.
Well, I'm talking pre-show, Jose. Okay, sorry.
Oh, sorry. My bad.
But no. Speaking of locations, we're gonna move on, because WWE is gearing up to create a little bit more history overseas, because they have just announced the first WWE PLE to take place in Germany. Bash in Berlin will unfold at the illustrious Mercedes-Benz Arena Saturday, August 31st, 2024. This news follows closely on the heels of WWE's partnership with Live Nation, which recently catapulted them into more international PLEs. Over the past year, we've seen a few shows overseas, including Backlash in Puerto Rico, Elimination Chamber in Montreal, Night of Champions in Jeddah, and Money in the Bank in London. And honestly, those are all really, really good shows.
Yeah.
All of them had really good vibes in the crowd. The fans were hot. And I just think them doing more of this, hey, why not, right?
Yeah, totally. It kind of puts a damper on, coming to Chase.
Yeah.
But I'll take that exchange.
Yeah, I mean, we also I forgot to mention they're going to Australia February 24th. Is it for Elimination Chamber?
Yeah.
And this Germany one is like right when it came out, and then right after it came out, there was rumors that Paris, France could be the next city to possibly host a PLE. According to Fightful, they're talking about maybe Backlash 2024 going to Paris, France.
Very cool.
So with the deal still in the works, we'll see what happens. Nick Khan has emphasized he wants to do more international stuff. But what do you think about this, Jose? Like you were saying, it kind of puts a damper on going to Chase. Like, it's kind of cool because you're going to see a lot of good shows, but does it it's kind of a bummer that, we're not going to get as many opportunities to maybe host a PLE here.
Yeah, and that really takes, it's a real bummer, but I'll take it. I'm not heartbroken about it.
Yeah.
um, There's actually pretty cool because I'd rather watch on TV sometimes anyway, right?
Yeah.
Um, so I'm looking forward to this. This is something that they've been working on for a while. I know they have plans to invade Mexico as well. So we'll
That'll be
see.
cool.
Yeah, totally. I'm looking forward to it. It'll be cool to see after AEW and the London PLE we saw not too long ago. Was it PLE or was it a Raw?
Oh, it was London. It was Money in the Bank.
There you go. Yeah. So it'll be fun to see different countries and their reactions. Like, I can't wait to see what France looks like. Like Paris, the
Exactly.
crowd.
Yeah.
What's the crowd gonna be like?
Well, the thing I like is the arena setups. They're like a little different, just different vibe in the crowd too.
Mm-hmm.
But like these towns, I mean, they're presumably paying big money to get WWE to come in there.
Yeah.
And I guess if your city can afford it, because like it was reported that I guess in the Catalyst on Tuesday that the tourism board of St. Petersburg / Clearwater, Florida, invested $500,000 into to bring the Royal Rumble to Tropicana Field in January.
All right.
So, like, I mean, is it worth it for a city? I guess maybe, depending on how many people want to travel there. So, we'll wait to see.
Yeah.
Totally. And make some dip and wait,
Yeah, and all this cash flow that's going into the machine, maybe it would deter them from doing more Saudi shows.
Well, it also might be able to help them out for like presumably, there's some talks with Endeavor. I didn't write this down, but there's some talks with Endeavor looking to strategize the ways to save money with TKO. And I mean, there's rumors out there they possibly be thinking about selling the company already.
Already?
I mean, I don't want to get like, it's all like speculation, and they said they're committed to TKO, but actions speak louder than words. And look into it if you.
I always knew it was a bad idea to sell that thing. See, Vince, way to go, buddy.
Well, who knows? Maybe they'll sell it to Saudi Arabia. Maybe they'll sell it back to Vince.
Yeah, that's the best option.
So
even though we have our abrasive relationship with Vince, like one-sided, of course, but even though we have this relationship with Vince, there's only one person to run that show, or own it at least, right?
If you saw him like coming out of a hotel, you'd be like, Vince, let me get a picture.
Yeah, totally.
Apparently he used to love taking pictures with people. I don't know about nowadays.
Oh no, I'm sure he looks in the mirror and goes, I'm a mess.
No, he's like, I'm a sexy boy. They think I'm cute.
That's his alarm.
Yeah, the original HBK theme song, the one that he sang.
Oh God.
Have you heard that one?
Yeah.
Because it's totally Vince. You could hear it in the voice. I think I'm cute. Anyways, we got an update regarding the return of the 14-time world heavyweight champion, Mr. Randall Keith Orton, because according to Dave Meltzer, so, take it with a grain of salt, of the Wrestling Observer newsletter, it could be sooner rather than later, more specifically in about a month. Orton's father, Cowboy Bob Orton, said in May of 2023 that he believes doctors have told Orton to stop wrestling. But Orton has been training for his WWE return. Fightful reported earlier this month that WWE was planning to have Orton back by Survivor Series. Meltzer said, when asked about Orton returning at Survivor Series, we were told that is the suggested time frame. So likely about a month or so. His doctor did suggest he retired due to his back issues, but Orton makes a ton of money and he really wants to go until he's 50, if at all possible.
Oof, how old is he now? 45?
I don't know. Let's see. Randy Orton. Let's look this up as we search up in the CWR
Randall
information.
Keith.
Randall Keith Orton, 43 years old, 7 years.
Oh, damn! I don't know, buddy.
7 years with back issues.
Dude, I hope you can, but let's not push it, bro.
I mean,
Quality of life in your later years is very important.
yeah, he looks like he's having fun in his life too. He's like doing flips into like water and stuff. He's got like a good looking wife, some, he's got a good money already. I'm sure he's got some saved up. Hopefully he does. I mean, these new wrestlers, it seems like what do you, I guess there's no real question to ask about it, but yeah, Randy Orton. I mean, I hope he returns I hope he gets better first. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No,
and then he returns.
Yeah.
Don't Randy, don't push yourself just because I said so. Seriously, man. Because I know like you probably might hear this one day, and it might convince you to come back, and then you might hurt your back forever. And you'll be like, damn that Corey at City Wrestling Radio. How dare he do a daytime podcast?
Randy.
But yeah.
Mr. Orton, wouldn't it be better to get the pop that you really deserve at a Rumble instead of Survivor Series? Just wait a couple months. You'll be fine.
Yeah, he'll get pop. I don't know. Yeah, I agree with you on that. Royal Rumble would be better for him. It'd be in Florida. It'd be nice weather in the winter time.
Doesn't he live in Florida? It'll be right around the corner from your house.
I'm sure he does. Sure he does. They all do.
They all do.
You avoid paying taxes that way, apparently.
Yeah.
I want to move to Florida just for that. But then you have to deal with like gators and like meth heads.
Yeah, and the weirdest news items always come out of Florida. Florida.
Did you hear there's going to be a Florida man competition?
Florida man competition?
Yeah. So have you ever heard the term Florida man? Like no. Florida man caught wrestling a gator. Florida man caught, like naked and lubed and chasing people down the street with a dildo. Florida man this. So there's going to be a Florida man competition with apparently like beer belly wrestling and an obstacle course where you're actually being chased by like police officers.
Take my money, please.
Yes, I if that happens before our end of the year show, I think that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna drink and watch that.
Oh, I'm so down. We'll do it live on TikTok or Twitch.
Twitch, whatever people are watching.
Whatever you childrens are watching.
I think they went back to YouTube. I don't know. I'm probably old for saying that. But anyways, let's get into this week's episodes. AEW Dynamite and NXT. Let's kick it off with AEW Dynamite. First up, Jose, what did you think of this show overall?
Fun show. Had a very pay-per-view-y vibe to it. AEW is doing some really cool things nowadays. I really like what's going on.
Yeah, it was a good show. I felt like it was a little bit heavy on the MJF stuff. You know what I mean? Like it was just pretty much the MJF show.
I think they're trying to ride that train. Yeah, strike while iron's hot.
And I feel like there was no music between the notes in the show per se. Like it was just segment, MJF, segment. And I was kind of like, whoa. I felt like I was watching like YouTube, like a bunch of YouTube shorts.
Yeah, like reels. Yeah.
So, I mean, it was a good show. There was a lot of good wrestling. But the storyline stuff, it was a little lacking. So we kick things off with Renee Paquette backstage with MJF calling Adam Cole on the phone. MJF got about 2 words in before he hears strolling up, Adam. We hear Roderick Strong is wheeled up by Mike Bennett and Matt Taven. I mean, this has got to be the best version of Roderick Strong.
Yeah,
in my opinion,
he actually has character. It's not dull.
So after MJF hangs up on the phone, Strong says since Cole is his friend and he needs to play nice with MJF because friend of his friend is friend of his.
Yeah,
sure, why not? Or at least you got to respect them. You got to be nice to them. You don't have to be their friend, but you gotta. If you see them, if they're with your friend, and you're like, hey,
be cordial.
Hey, how you doing? How you doing? I'm trying to think of a name. How you doing, Andrew? And Andrew's like, hey, how you doing? Like, you want to hang out sometime? No.
Got a thing. I have a thing.
No. I have to nap. It's really important to me. I got to catch up on my naps.
Yeah.
So then he says, despite he knowing that MJF is behind the devil mask, they'll help him in an 8-man tag against Bullet Club Gold, which I thought was weird that they mentioned it early on because we get the challenge later.
Mhm.
Anyways, MJF shoves Strong in the wheelchair off the screen, and then he cuts a promo on Juice Robinson. The camera then cuts to the devil, who's staring at the screen and shoves the camera away. Okay, who do you think right now? As of right now, who do you think is behind the devil mask?
Bobby Fish. No. I don't know. I'm thinking
I mean,
that
what if
is,
it's Kyle O'Reilly?
oh, what? Okay. I'm
Could be.
down. Yeah.
Kyle
Mhm.
O'Reilly joining up with Roderick Strong, maybe. I don't know.
That
Because
sounds
Adam
cool.
Cole's hurt. We
Mhm.
got a lot of whodunits this week, I feel like.
We do, and a lot of stay tuned for more.
Yeah.
A lot of cliffhangers, as my kids like to say.
So they're definitely trying to make it seem like it's MJF.
Mhm.
And MJF is trying to make you think it's him too. Like MJF has not said it's not him. MJF is kind of playing into the I'm the devil. The devil's coming to town, baby. But then
Mhm.
it cuts to this other devil or this, because he was cutting a promo and then it cut to the devil. So it
Yeah,
can't be the same person.
he can't be at two places at once. Yeah. So,
Yeah,
or maybe he has an unknown friend that we don't know about because we know he's lacking friends this week.
that's true. That's true. Then we have the AEW World Champion MJF defeating Juice Robinson with the guns. The match itself, I thought, was very good with MJF being able to out scumbag Robinson. But when it was all said and done, him retaining the Dynamite ring for the 5th year, I don't know. Does the ring really matter at this point? Like, do we
This might
still
be the
need it?
last time. This might be the last time they do it.
I mean, that's what I thought last year, but they're still doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't know. To me, it's a little,
Yeah.
yeah. The Guns repeatedly tried to get into the ring, distracting Bryce Remsburg, and as both MJF and Robinson, they both put on their rings with MJF connecting with the first punch. MJF knocked both the Guns out before Robinson. He hit him with the Heat Seeker and got the pin and the win. And like I said, I thought the match was great. What did you think of that match?
Hot opener.
Yeah.
Very fun. Like we are talking about the ring is really not a very drawing appeal, and I don't know why competitors would want the ring. I don't
Yeah.
know what
Yeah. Yeah.
what the need is there. So yeah, just
Well, I
get rid
think
of that. Like it's just a reason.
Juice said he was going to pawn it, I think, to
Yeah.
get another gold tooth or something. I don't know.
Mhm.
Let's see. Post match, the Guns attacked MJF, but the Kingdom made the save briefly, but they were easily thrown out of the ring. I mean, I don't know how hard they tried to save MJF, but
No,
Roderick Strong did throw them into the ring. He said, "Get in the ring, go save him." So
yeah.
there is that. Jay White joined the beatdown, and Robinson was about to hit the home run shot. That's when the Acclaimed and Daddy Ass ran out to make the save. The Guns
That's
and
something I don't understand either.
so yeah, not
Like,
I don't either. So it to me, what I think happened, I think it all started on social media where Max Caster was being flirtatious with MJF,
yeah,
which I didn't know Max Caster was, into
flowing
dudes,
that way, sure. Hmm.
which is cool, like whatever, get it. But
I mean,
MJF isn't reciprocating feelings,
yeah,
so
and he's
Max Caster's
fanboying hard.
he's being a little
Yeah,
creepy about
a
it.
lot creepy, and his boys are like fully supportive about it.
Well, they've been trying to like tell him, like, calm him down because he's been jumping the gun each week, like
Yeah,
he says,
yeah,
like he said to like one of the female broadcasters, I think it was Renee.
yeah. Max
Anyways,
Caster was talking
yeah,
to Renee
so
or somebody.
he's being trying to be advised, you know what I mean, to calm it down a little bit, but he doesn't take their advice. Like he's kind of creepy about it. And even like Anthony Bowen's like, dude, keep it calm.
Hmm.
But MJF told the ass boys to shut up and sorry, but let's rewind a little bit
Okay.
because on the top of the ramp, Colton Gunn issued a challenge to the ROH Tag Team Champion, MJF, for a title match at Full Gear. MJF told the Ass Boys to shut up, and he accepted the challenge, supposedly for a handicap match. It said next week it'll be an 8-man tag. With White was forced to give up the Triple B title if Team MJF wins. So Roderick Strong began screaming, at MJF from ringside. It's going to be me, right? It's going to be me. It's going to be me and the Kingdom. And he says, no, it's not going to be you. And why don't you go ahead and push yourself or roll yourself off a cliff? That's when Max Caster, he said, that means MJF, that means it's us, right? And like, I don't know, like this whole MJF wanting friends and the Acclaimed are so over. Why
Yes,
would you have MJF pushing himself away? Like to me, I don't like the storyline of MJF saying no, but Max Caster forcing himself into his life. It's a little rapey to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially if it's kind of like this flirtatious thing. Like if somebody says no, you move on. So even in wrestling, like he is like distancing himself from the Acclaim. He's saying, I don't want to tag with you. I've never wanted to tag with you. I'd rather be on fire, my whole body be on fire than like ever tagging with you. And so like, I don't see how that would put him over with the fans. And I don't see like, I don't know, that would make me want to see the tag match even more, but I don't know the way they're going about it, the whole storyline, flirtatious. It's weird.
Yeah, it might have worked in the days of Mickey James and Trish, but not in 2023.
Yeah, and like it doesn't matter, and this being said, it doesn't matter if it's a man or woman, it's still creepy and has sexual undertones and
stocky.
Stocky. Yeah, stocky. Forced like, and if MJF was like all about it, I'd be like, yeah, this is great. And they would, scissor and it'd be fun, but no. So he left the ring, and it's really great because he refuses to scissor Max, and he just daddy ass in the background. If you see him, he is livid. He is livid. They are holding him back. He wants to fight MJF so badly because he will not scissor Max Caster. But MJF, as he's walking up the ramp, we hear Kenny Omega's music hit, and we get a face-off between AEW champion MJF and the former champion Kenny Omega. Basically, Kenny Omega wants to defend his streak as the longest reigning AEW world champion. MJF wants to become the longest reigning champion. Hey, good match, but 3 days build, Jose?
Well, this all started at BTE, right? Being the Elite, where MJF came into the locker room like maybe 3 weeks ago, and he gave Omega some props. Then he whispered in his ear, 28 days, bitch. And Omega was like, what the hell is this guy talking about? So he became hip to it. And then last week he got another
14 days.
Hint. Yeah. He got another clue to it. Now he's back to now he's hip. Now he knows what he's after. And now Omega is in.
Yeah, but I don't know.
It takes a lot.
It's Kenny Omega. Even when he came out, people were chanting, holy shit, holy shit. This guy looks like $1 million fucking dollars. There should be more build behind this, and there should be more believability that he's going to win, because even right now, I don't believe he's going to win. I don't believe Kenny Omega can win the AEW title from MJF, because I know he's going to get fucked somehow.
Yeah, and he's been on a little bit of a losing streak. He's been losing to, he lost. I don't want to go through it, but he's the only thing that he doesn't even have the Trios Championship. That's a Hangman. Oh man, yeah. So we know where this is going.
Next up, we have a vignette for Wardlow. He's shown talking about MJF. He said he was on the sidelines watching MJF become the face of the company, despite MJF being a horrible person. And I mean, hey, I'm with Wardlow on that. Like, MJF was a horrible person, and now he's super over.
Yeah. And Wardlow, I'm still on the lookout for that belt that got stolen out of your car.
We're looking for it. We can't find it.
Yeah.
Do you think it was smelted down by now?
Oh, maybe.
Do people still do that, or
I don't know? Do they?
I feel like it would be like in someone's closet, like they're really afraid to take it out.
Maybe. Yeah.
One day I'll find it on on Craigslist. I feel like that'll be the hunt for the title one day.
There you go. Yeah.
I feel like that's our goal as a podcast.
Yeah, totally. Because it's in the city. It's in the city, at least the Bay Area, at the very least.
It's not gone from the Bay Area. Next up, FTW champion Hook and RVD defeated John Silver and Alex Reynolds. This is a pretty damn good match too, but a lot of the action took place during the commercial break.
Mm-hmm.
The end of the match saw Evil Uno jumping into the ring with a chair, RVD hitting him with a Van Daminator. Reynolds was planted with a 5-star frog splash as Hook slapped on the red rum to force Silver to tap. I just don't know what RVD's role in AEW is.
It's right now, RVD and Hook is Sting and Darby Allin. Little old schooler to new schooler rub, yeah.
Okay, I see what you're saying. So, but yeah, I guess, man, it just seems like they have RVD on every couple of weeks, and he just is kind of there.
Yeah,
like even, I mean, I can't say even Sting. He's way less of a star than Sting is, but I don't know, man. They should have him, get on the mic, have him do something, have him in some sort of storyline. Let us know what he's doing, because I want to know why he's tagging with Hook.
I hear you, and I want that too. But in the same vein, he's getting Hook on TV, and that's what I want more.
Hook was already on TV though.
Yeah, but he was kind of, just the snack, the chip eating guy in the background. And he was on.
He is a snack. You are right about that. He's a snack for some people.
But he wasn't as prevalent as he is now because of RVD. So he is getting the rub.
I suppose, but I would like to at least be like, even if Taz is on comedy, hey, we were at a family barbecue and RVD said he was going to tag with my son. Hey,
they should totally use that connection. Yeah. Oh man, I can't believe I didn't put it together. Yeah, they should totally use that connection.
Hey, we were getting a slice, and he was like, "Hey, you want your son to tag partner? I'll do it."
I asked my boy RVD for a favor, and why don't you take my boy Hook around, huh?
Exactly. So. Yeah. He's a little bit on the grass, just like you. I want him to show him like he could do it and still be professional about it. I don't want to be lazy. Yeah. Show him some of the ropes. How do you live life? Smoking that green stuff.
He's totally the guy that would refer to it as grass.
He totally would. Next up, RJ City lets us know, despite him not being the host of Turner Classic Movies, Tony Storm appears, and they presented the movie Hold the Butler for commercial break. I don't care about these at all.
I do. Yeah. I find them entertaining, and she is hot as hell. But
she's very good looking, but I cannot pay attention to anything during commercial break.
Mm-hmm. It's funny, dude. There's some funny bits in there.
So then we're informed by Excalibur that Tony Storm will be getting a women's world title shot at Full Gear against the winner of Hikaru Shida and Ruby Soho later tonight. Mm-hmm. I think they need to put the belt on Tony Storm.
Oh yeah, they're going to do it.
There's no reason why Hikaru Shida has the title.
Just to be a repeat champion. I like that.
But
she can give it up at any time.
She took it off Saraya, and they were doing Saraya and Tony Storm.
I don't think Saraya is healthy enough to maintain the title. I think that was a favor done to pop the London crowd. And now that that's over and done with, back to business.
Speculative.
I'm speculating, yes. It's
allegedly.
My 2 cents. Just my 2 cents. I mean, she came back. It's a very serious injury that she's coming back from.
Yeah. And we haven't seen her wrestle since.
Yeah. Or maybe once.
Yeah. Oh, then we get, and then after this, Tony Khan's big surprise for Sting. So Darby Allin and Sting come out to the ring. Sting thanked Philadelphia fans for the memories and thanked Darby Allin for being his partner. Sting also thanked Tony Khan for making the phone call 4 years ago to let him go out on his terms and give him some more time to grapple. I love that term. Sting gave the mic to Tony Schiavone, and Schiavone says it was 35 years ago that Sting put on a pro wrestling match. He put pro wrestling on the map on TBS. So Schiavone introduced the surprise on behalf of Tony Khan. It's Ric Flair.
Oh, thanks, Tony. Thanks. This makes Sting a hypocrite, and I'll show you why in a little bit.
So does Sting own Ric Flair now? Is he Ric Flair's keeper? Did he buy Ric Flair? Is he going to be wheeling and dealing forever? I don't know. I know you can't own a human being in America, and I fully support that incentive. But it was just weird the entire day. They're like, this big gift is the biggest gift ever given to a pro wrestler ever in the history of time and space and Frosted Flakes. It just, to me, it was like, I thought he was just going to get a title shot.
I thought there was somebody who was going to present him with the huge title, like a replica of the huge title.
Yeah, no. But Flair comes out and he talks about, I think it was that Clash of Champions, the match they had was it 25 years ago, 35 years ago?
35, yeah.
35 years ago. He says it was 55 minutes, but apparently it was only 45 minutes. It's Ric Flair, though.
No, that's how they embellish.
Flair said when he got the invitation from Mr. Khan, he knew he had to be a part of it. And then he said he wants to ride the wagon with Sting. He wants to ride out this last few months with Sting. So are we getting Ric Flair in an AEW role?
A managerial supporter?
Sting needs a manager?
No.
He's already like a manager. So Ric Flair's going to manage Sting, who's managing Darby, who's probably managing Nick Wayne, in reality. I don't know, man. Do you think Ric Flair's sticking around?
It looks that way, right? He said, would you come on the ride with me? He said, I'll come with you.
I don't want this at all.
I don't know why they need him. I don't know why we need it.
We don't need Ric Flair. He's old. He's out of date. And he comes out and he's just, even his character, like he's still in that same, and I'm not trying to be like Mr. Like we can't fantasize about women. We can't talk about being the man. No, fuck that. We can. But at the same time, like, I don't know. I just don't want to hear this old man spout about the glory days and wheeling and dealing anymore. I've had enough of it.
Yeah. And I even cringe when he's doing those, how he has the new vape or the new bud. I
Ric Flair's bud. And he dances where he's like just moving his arms left to right for about like an inch.
Yeah. And he reached the point now too where his suits are too matchy. So he has like mushroom jacket, mushroom vest, mushroom shirt with a mushroom tie.
He's starting to look like that guy. Remember with all the exclamation point suit? He'd be like, "You get your money for free from the government."
yeah. That's right.
You can see Ric Flair just like on the train at 5 a.m. He's like, "I'm still going to work." Christian Cage music hits and the TNT champion walked out with Luchasaurus and Nick Wayne. Cage said that Tony Khan is a billionaire, but his present to Sting was just a suit, gold chains, and a black liver. Okay. Cage said Flair is moving pretty well and doesn't feel like he's watching Weekend Bernie's at all.
No strings. I can't see the strings.
Cage knows Ric Flair isn't dead and knows there isn't a God, because if there was a God, Flair would have been dead 20 years ago.
Oh my God, buckshots. This guy has a machine gun for a mouth.
I did feel bad for Flair because I felt like it cut to him and he was just like,
oh, come on.
Like it was worse than the time he like cried on Raw because Charlotte wouldn't hang out with him.
That's right.
She's like, Dad, I'm doing something. He's like, why won't you hang out with me? I'm your dad. Woo! And she beat him up, I believe. It was great. Yeah, I want to rewatch that.
Yeah.
Charlotte Flair beating the crap out of her dad.
Oh my God, we should just do a show on that one.
Cage said Allen still is sour grapes over losing to him. He took a shot at Philadelphia Phillies for losing and says he doesn't want to wait until Revolution for Sting to be gone. Cage issued a 6-man tag challenge for Full Gear for Sting and Darby Allin finding a partner. Even though Flair was there, he was not invited to the match. Thank God.
Thank you. Oh my God, I was shitting bricks before that.
Because he is one chop away from falling apart, man.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny. There was a point though where Sting sneezed. He just like all of a sudden turns and like, "Excuse me, Shoo! Sorry, I'm allergic to jackasses."
Way to go! It's good to see TNA Sting back.
Yeah, he got the pop. He got the pop. He's got pop. So, Next up, Renee Paquette is backstage with Chris Jericho earlier today for a medical update following the destruction by Powerhouse Hobbs a few weeks ago. Jericho can't remember ever being beat down so badly in his career and wants to, yeah, I mean, he basically says, Hobbs is big and bad, but he's got friends who are bigger and badder. We're getting Big Show wrestling again.
I hope not.
We're getting the retirement of Sting.
No, yeah, I'm
Flair's in
thinking
the ring. Dude, this is turning into TNA.
this is gonna be. Yeah, it is, isn't it? Wow.
Jericho and Big Show.
It might be the
Watch that.
return of the.
Jericho. Oh, yeah, Jericho. They were a tag team,
Yeah,
remember?
yeah. You're right. Oh shit! If Glenn Jacobs shows up, I quit.
Yeah. Oh man. Oh well. I mean, it seems like we're getting the Big Show, but I hope it's someone else that they got in mind.
Yeah,
And
but
someone not lame. Like if like Brian Cage comes out, I'll be like, boo, get out of here. No one wants you, Brian Cage. Although if
yeah,
you see me, don't beat me up.
it's,
Yeah.
Jake Hager. Is that his name?
Jake Hager. Yeah.
Hager.
But he's not bigger than Hobbs.
He's not. He's not.
Not at all. Yeah.
Taller. Maybe.
Next up, the Elite, the team of Hangman Page, Matt and Nick Jackson, or the Hung Bucks, whatever you want to call them, defeated the Hardys, Matt and Jeff Hardy, and Brother Zay to retain the ROH six-man titles. This was a match for some belts.
Yep.
It doesn't matter anymore.
That's me.
It really doesn't. They hit the BTE trigger on Zay or the Bucks hit the BTE trigger on Zay to retain the titles.
Cool.
Then it cuts to Swerve Strickland and Prince Nana shown on the big screen. Inside, what we learned was the home of Hangman Page's. As Page is sprinting out of the ring, Strickland he's walking through the house. Nana's eating chocolate covered berries in the kitchen.
Ooh, his favorite.
And then they heard a noise before Strickland said it wasn't just Page who would pay for his actions. It was his loved ones. And then Strickland stood over Page's child's crib and he put a shirt in there. I don't know. That was weird. I don't know.
You know what? They missed an opportunity. He should have draped it on the baby instead of throwing it in there.
You know what I think they should do next time? They should have Swerve send a new crib. Like just a new crib shows up to the house and it says like from your friend Swerve Strickland. And then he tries to like do things for the mom.
Uncle
like
Swerve.
Exactly. He's trying to tear Hangman's Page's life apart as opposed to this whole like I'm going to kill your child or kidnap your child. Because that's fucking weird.
Yeah, no, there's a fine line between Brian Pillman and Samoa Joe.
Yeah, because
Samoa Joe did AJ. Yeah,
a home invasion, the crib. I don't know, man.
Yeah, it's very creepy. And Swerve doesn't need this. He doesn't need his heat. It's too cheap.
Yeah, no, I see you. I see that. Next up, Renee Paquette is backstage with Adam Copeland and Darby Allin and Sting approached. Basically, Sting is trying to say, hey, man, like I know you want to ride off into the sunset with your buddy Christian Cage, but I had my blinders on back in the day with Lex Luger and Ric Flair. You have your blinders on now with Christian. Take your head out of your ass and take your blinders off and realize what the truth is.
They just made Sting into a hypocrite.
Why?
Because he's saying learn from the dirtiest player in the game, Ric Flair. And
who turned his back on me?
Yeah, and now he's riding into the sunset with Ric Flair.
That's true.
Where's the logic? What are you talking about?
That's true. Maybe we'll get Adam Copeland and Sting.
Yeah.
Next up, Hikaru Shida defeated Ruby Soho to retain the title. I mean, I don't know. Again, it was a match for a belt for a champion that I never thought would be champion. So
I love Shida. I mark out for her.
Fans loved her. There was a huge sign for her.
Yeah. This match was not it. I'm glad she's going up against Toni Storm because Tony's walking away with that title.
Yeah. Soho eventually was thrown into the exposed buckle. Shida hit another running knee, pin in the win. Post-match, timeless Toni Storm. She walked out to the stage, posed for the crowd with her new butler, who is Luther from Chaos Theory. Or Chaos Project, sorry.
Chaos Project, yeah.
Yeah. Luther? Cool. Okay.
She needs something. She needs a little extra added.
I guess if he's going to stay employed with the company, sure,
Yeah,
why
yeah,
not?
yeah.
Renee Paquette again backstage with MJF again, asking him about what's on his plate. And apparently, Samoa Joe just walks up. He's applauding. He told MJF that he's willing to be MJF's friend, but on one condition: he wants a rematch for the AEW Championship, which was weird because MJF was like, "Oh yeah, I want more friends. How you doing? Yeah, Mr. Samoa Joe, I'll be your friend."
Yeah,
It
especially with
was
Samoa Joe. But he does offer money to people to be his support. So
that's true.
not straying too far from the character. I'm digging that. That's fine.
Next up, the main event: Bryan Danielson and Claudio Castagnoli defeated Orange Cassidy and Kazuchika Okada. So I'll say this: my DVR did cut off towards the end of the match, so I
Mhm.
am going off of a lot of towards the end. I'm going off of notes, but let's do it. So this is OC Orange Cassidy and Bryan Danielson's first time in the ring together, and this is another time where we get to see Danielson and Okada, and that's fucking great.
Now, anytime you see Okada in United States television, I'm all in. Pardon the
Yeah.
pun.
So Okada connected with a top rope elbow drop. He did the Rainmaker pose. This is towards the end of the match. He did his Rainmaker pose and was joined by Cassidy Hug. Danielson broke it up with a top rope drop kick, but Okada got the ripcord applied. Cassidy hit the orange punch into a Rainmaker, but Castagnoli made the save. Okada was planted with a springboard uppercut and by Castagnoli, who followed that with a massive pop-up uppercut on Cassidy to get the win. After the match, Danielson was clutching his face in pain after suffering the Orange Punch Rainmaker combo. As the doctors, John Moxley, Wheeler Yuta attended to him. The best friends, Chris Statlander, Rocky Romero, Hook, they all came out too. Everyone had an intense stare down, including Wheeler Yuta and Hook. So that's next up for Hook, I guess. That solves that.
Cool.
I don't know. The show just pretty much ended awkwardly, and it was a little quiet. I don't know.
Yeah, something else must have happened afterwards, right? In the dark.
You would think so, like maybe a brawl.
Yeah, we should. I should dig a little bit. It's 2 days ago. We should have saw something by now.
All right, so we don't have much time left today, but let's get into it. Let's get into NXT Halloween Havoc Night 1. What did you think of this show overall?
I'm a fan of the old school Halloween Havocs, but this new take where they actually implement a lot of Halloween into the Havoc, I'm liking it. I like it.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of fun. Everyone's like doing costumes that are from other properties, so that's cool.
Yeah.
And they're not trying to hide it at all. They're like, oh my god, she's dressed like Pinhead. Oh my god,
Yeah.
she's the kid from It.
That was
But
really cool though, the Pinhead costume. Yeah.
no, Shotzi, yeah.
Yeah. Shotzi was the star of the show, by the way.
No, definitely. And she's like, anytime she can dress up in multiple costumes or Halloween costumes in a night and get paid for it, I think that's probably the best gig for her.
Oh yeah.
Good show. It started off with the band New Year's Day kicking off the show with their song Vampire.
Which was
Spooky.
apparently it was lip sync. That's the way it felt like to me.
Come on. It all is
live.
now.
Good job. Yeah, you're right about that.
Then we have the Devil's Playground match with Roxanne Perez defeating Kiana James. This is basically a hardcore Falls Count Anywhere match. So basically a hardcore title match. At one point, Kiana James, she did smack her head on the corner of one of the stairs, getting a huge hematoma forming on her head.
Ooh.
Which I actually had one of those. I hit the corner of my car door on my leg recently, and my leg swelled up larger than anything for a good day, and then it went back down. So. But Roxanne hit Kiana with Kiana's loaded purse, followed up by Pop Rocks onto the loaded purse for the pin and the win. Kiana not dressed up for Halloween because she's a businesswoman.
Of course.
And Roxanne, she's dressed like a sexy Freddy Krueger.
Nice.
So, Carmelo Hayes interviews Vic Joseph. He's interviewing Carmelo Hayes. He's basically asked the question. He goes, "Did you attack Trick Williams last week?" And Carmelo doesn't deny it. He doesn't. He doesn't say no.
Yeah.
He says, "Come on, like, are we really going to do this? Are we really going to?" He avoids the questions. Who do you think?
He's really annoyed all night. I think he did it.
You think he did it?
Yeah.
You think he did? I think they're trying really hard to make you think he did it. Like, and
That's the swerve.
I think so. Like, I think that it's gonna, like, push comes to shove. He's gonna say, like, Trick, like, if it came down to you and me in the match, I would fight you for this title, and I don't want to fight you. Like,
Oh, okay.
like, but and then, like, I don't know. There's a few other things. I think Baron Corbin did it.
Okay.
That's
Well,
personally who I think did it. It's either Baron Corbin or Braun Breaker.
yeah, it could be Braun. Especially, was it this show? Was it today when he comes after he
Yeah,
questions him
yeah,
right later on?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it definitely could be. I'm not very familiar. Okay, look, WWE did a great job. Triple H and Shawn Michaels did a great job, right? When they did that counter programming for AEW on a Tuesday, when they piled in all their superstars to TNA, to TNA to NXT, they kind of hooked me because I wasn't watching before and I'm watching now. So I think that hook and reel pulled me in, and I'm starting to learn who a lot of these people are. So I don't know who a lot of these wrestlers are right now, but I'm learning. I'm getting there. I'll be more knowledgeable for you guys.
Yeah. No, I mean, it definitely was one of those, has been one of those shows that has really turned around from the NXT 2.0. It's not what we had back in the day, but hey, what is nowadays? Everything
Yeah.
evolves, everything changes. And what they have now,
We gotta go
it
with it.
seems like they took the NXT 2.0 and they said, okay, this is the hand we are dealt. How do we do it as good as the NXT 1.0? You know?
Oh yeah,
And so
definitely. And
they're doing what they can.
They're phasing out a lot of that '90s gimmicky stuff.
Yeah. Next up, we have Metaphor backstage with Shotzi and Scarlett. They're getting their tarot cards read, and I mean, I do love Noam Dar and his this whole group, this Metaphor. It's like the team of, like, Accents and Outcast. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
the team, like, they all probably have a group of friends somewhere, but they're all here in America now,
Mhm.
so they all, like, are just like, okay, we'll be friends with one another. It's funny because, they're being told, like, bad fortunes in your future and something bad's going to happen, and Noam Dar wants his money back. He doesn't want the bad news. Who does?
Yeah, screw that.
That's when Kira Tozawa sneaks behind Metaphor and steals the Heritage Cup. So there, we got that going. And Akira Tozawa, this guy's everywhere. Like,
Everywhere in the back, yeah.
he's like on Monday Night Raw. Now he's here on NXT. I'm expecting him to show up on SmackDown.
Oh yeah, somewhere in the back, yeah.
Next up, we have Lexis King's. I almost said Lexi. Lexis King's debut in the ring in NXT. Hey, the former Brian Pillman Jr. He comes out to the ring, says Brian Pillman is dead. Never liked the guy, anyways. It's weird. I mean, I know he died when he was 4, and maybe it was just like, one of those things. Like, he doesn't have a connection with his biological father. That being said, like, there's rumors that, like, the name he's using was, like, of his abusive stepfather, and I know the name Alexis is from his sister Alexis, who
He said
passed
it.
away.
Yeah, he said it last week. He said, "I'm going to use the name of the person that raised me."
The man who raised me. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, which is weird because I mean, allegedly, that's what I thought I heard. It's like, so I don't know. It's weird to me, but hey, it is what it is. He's doing what he wants, and he's still using the Brian Pillman logo on his knee pads.
Yeah, and
So,
he's rocking black and orange, but in reverse.
yeah. But he gets the pin on Dante Chin after hitting it was like a twisted spinning neck breaker off the ropes. So
It was a crossroads.
well, was it a crossroads?
But yeah, a forward
I thought,
crossroads.
okay, yeah, I guess it was a inverted crossroads.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know.
Call it the fork in the road.
There we go.
Sorry. Man.
Chase you backstage segment. Thea promises not to throw in the towel this time. Then we have the another NXT Women's Breakout Tournament semifinals. Kalani Jordan defeating Ariana Grace. Kalani Jordan coming out dressed like Spider Gwen. Ariana Grace, the daughter of Santino Marella.
That's right.
Yeah. Jordan won after an impressive leg drop off a split-legged moonsault. All the matches in this breakout tournament, though, so far have kept it simple and pretty well done, in my opinion.
Yeah, boom, boom, boom. Let's get it going. Let's get it done. Yeah.
And then we have Mr. Stone and Von Wagner segment. Mr. Stone and Von Wagner have a heart-to-heart at the physical therapy facility. Stone says he's going to avenge his friend next week when he tries to land one punch or one slap against Braun Breaker. Wagner just looks at him and says, we're friends? And Mr. Stone says, you darn right we're friends. And if I just get one punch on him, it'll all be worth it. So, I mean, I think Von Wagner's going to come back next week and kick the crap out of Braun Breaker.
Yeah.
So, and I guess it can't be Braun Breaker then for the attack on Trick. So, let's see. Now, Shotzi and Scarlett welcoming us back from commercial in new costume. Shotzi was Edward Scissorhands. Scarlett apparently a sexy vampire. They plugged their YouTube show. The Creeds and Ivy Nile interrupted and wanted a match against Angel and Alberto. That's when Shotzi said they shall spin the wheel to make a deal. Next week, the Creeds will face Angel and Alberto in a table, ladders, and scares match. Whoa.
Scares. Look at that be.
Anything. It'll just be a hardcore match.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
You know, everything on that wheel
is just hardcore match.
It's a no DQ match. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they should put like coal miner's glove on a pole match on there.
There you go.
Make it fun. Like make us think that it's going to be something crazy. You know?
Freddy Cougar claws on the pole. Yeah.
Yeah. You get to cut your person alive with a, I think farmers use it, that glove, that
really?
Freddy Krueger.
It's a thing?
I think it's an actual thing. Yeah. I think farmers used to do it like when they were trimming like bushes or something. Yeah. Wheat. Next up, Andre Chase and Duke Hudson defeated Tony D'Angelo and Channing Stacks Lorenzo to win the titles. So, I mean, it was a fun match. JC Jane tried to pass a foreign object to Chase, but he refused to use it, going against all the bylaws of Chase University. Chase then sent Tony D into the ropes and bumped off Jane off the apron, and that's when Tony D is rolled up for the pin and the win. So new tag team champions, I guess. Chase U, they're cool.
Yeah,
I like them. I think they're a fun team. I don't know.
I find them a little bland, but I'm new. Forgive me, please.
We have a Baron Corbin Baron Corbin promo. It's not a CWR show, if I don't get my tongue twisted.
Yes, at least once.
So Mackenzie Mitchell, she interviewed Corbin backstage. She asked if he attacked Trick Williams, and he did say, I should have won that match. I did everything I could to make sure I would have won. That's why I think it's Baron Corbin. He doesn't have anything scheduled going forward either.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So then we have the lights out match. Blair Davenport defeating Gigi Dolan. So the big spot of the match is when Davenport hit a Falcon Arrow off the announce desk through another table, set up for the pinfall victory. It was a decent hardcore match, you know. Oh
yeah,
they had to pin inside the ring though. That was the difference.
That was the difference between the first match. Yeah.
Ilya Dragunov, he sat down, interview with Vic Joseph. He's mentioning winning the title and how proud he was, showing his son the title and how proud he was to see his son hold the title. Then we have Carmelo. He was shown watching backstage, and Scarlett and Shotzi pop up as the was it twins from The Shining?
Yes.
So, which they both look totally different because they're both wearing brown wigs.
Mm-hmm.
Which threw me off. They did not look like Shotzi and Scarlett.
Yeah. It took me a little bit to, yeah.
So they said, all the cards are pointing at you, Carmelo. And he says, oh yeah, me winning the NXT title? They said, no, for attacking Trick Williams. Which, I mean, I just, like, why are they going so hard on it? Like, if he did it, it's going to be kind of like, really?
Yeah, I guess.
Another NXT women's breakout semifinals
no, it's LA
match.
Knight. Sorry.
What?
I said, oh no, it's LA Knight.
Yeah, I know, right? He's like, well, I lost at Jeddah or in Saudi Arabia. So Lola Vice defeated Carmen Petrovic to advance to the finals of the NXT breakout tournament. I mean, it was okay. It was a match. 2-on-1 show. Glad we're only going to get one next week. Booker T got weird about Lola being spicy.
Yeah,
he went on about it.
Come on, Buck.
I don't know. Chase U celebration backstage with Andre, Duke, Thea, and JC were celebrating their victory, and that's when Chelsea Green and Piper Niven interrupted, dressed like the Big Bad Wolf and Little Red Riding Hood, um, which was really funny because it's like I love how most of the women have like these sexy costumes, and it cuts to Piper Niven, and she's got like prosthetics in her mouth, and she's like, "I'm gonna fight you for the titles." I'm just like, damn, they did my girl Piper Niven dirty.
Yeah,
Like,
they did.
give her a sexy costume. She deserves.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe she didn't want one. I don't know.
Yeah.
Next up, Metaphor. We're complaining to a security guard about the stolen Heritage Cup. So Lash Legend showed Noam Dar that Tozawa has the cup. Apparently, Tozawa was taking pictures of it and posting it on social media or sending it to them via text. I don't know.
Good for you.
Carmelo Hayes and Braun Breaker, they're backstage, and this is when Braun says that he wants to be back on top, challenging Carmelo for the title, and it really should be them two for the top spot. And he's insinuates, he goes, "Hey, man, I know what you did to Trick Williams, and you did what you had to do." And again,
I get it.
Carmelo doesn't deny it, but, you know, it would be solved. It would be a lot simpler if Carmelo was like, "Hey, Carmelo," or "Trick, hey, how you doing? It wasn't me, sir. I'm sorry. Like, I don't know what happened. I'm sorry I wasn't there for you. Like, I would have fought you and I would have beat you." Like, he's arrogant, but he's not gonna take out his friend.
Like, yeah, and they're buddies. They don't have each other's a text message, bro. It wasn't me. I'm sorry.
No. Next up, Jade Cargill arrives to the NXT Perch. So that's cool. She's finally there. I guess she's not just going to go to the main roster like we all thought she would, which is weird.
Yeah.
So next up, the main event of the evening, the NXT Women's Championship match. Lyra Valkyria defeated Becky Lynch to win the title. I mean, hey, Becky Lynch put over this person in NXT. She won cleanly, and you know, she won the title off Becky Lynch. So she basically, after Becky went for the manhandle slam, Lyra rolled her up and won quickly. I thought it was a decent match. What did you think of this match, Jose?
It's not one for the books, but I get what they're trying to do here. They totally want to elevate somebody, elevate the title, first of all, which, you know, mission accomplished. And now Valkyria is now elevated to main event status. And, you know, good on her. Good on NXT. They have someone they can rely on now.
Yeah. No, I'm going to be bummed to see Becky Lynch gone from NXT, you know, but her going back to the main roster is also good. You know, they're going to benefit a lot with her. And I did feel she's a little out of place on NXT.
Yeah. And, you know, Jade, didn't it feel like she was kind of, instead of being dedicated to NXT, maybe she was just scoping out Becky Lynch?
Oh, could be. So that does make more sense. Because she wasn't like the title, like, you know, like, I'm going to wear that belt.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I do anytime I go to a Ross. I'm like, "Where are your belts?" And they're like, "Oh, they're right over there." They're like, "Sir, that's not a belt, it's a strap." Whatever.
Good reference.
Well, anyways, extra long show today because we've been gone an extra long time.
Yeah, there you have it, folks. Just for you.
But there you go. We're all wrapping up here for today. Don't forget, check us out each and every week here at youtube.com/City Wrestling Radio. Go ahead and check out our new retro review, ECW Anarchy Rules 2000. Hey, you're going to see Coronas. You're going to see whippersnappers, you know?
Yeah.
Set it on the first try this time.
Yeah.
So go ahead and check it out, guys. For City Wrestling Radio, I'm Corey Smith.
I'm Jose Segura.
And we will see you next time. Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye.